No mai, haere mai, ngā mihi nui, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, on behalf of the Pearl of the Islands Foundation and the Khadija Leadership Network, it is our pleasure to welcome you to our Whanau evening. We greet you with the traditional Muslim salutation, As-salam alaikum, peace be upon you all. Before we commence the evening, we would like to run through some housekeeping with you. We'd like to let you know that 2 crews are here filming the evening. If you are uncomfortable with being part of that, can you please let them know? The toilets are out along the corridor. To the left, as you go out, a big green area. In the event of something happening, there is an exit there at the back of you and another exit through this door and very quickly to the left as you go out. The assembly area is towards the front of the building. We ask you that you turn your phones onto silent, please. Thank you. My name is Donna McAleer.
And my name is Kim Trigard, and we'll be your MCs for this evening. It's our great honour and privilege tonight to welcome the Muslim community, interfaith and community leaders, local government, MPs and representatives from Victim Support, Police, St John's, Canterbury District Health Board and Christchurch City Council. Thank you for being here tonight. Just a quick rundown of what's going to happen this evening. We have a welcome and a couple of speeches, and then we're going to break for dinner, and after dinner is about 45 minutes, and then we'll reconvene for some more speeches, and we have some awards and presentations to present. But the Pearl of the Islands Foundation is a non-profit organisation founded in interfaith dialogue, education and humanitarian activities. It was established by the Turkish Muslim community in New Zealand and has been operating since 2006 with an aim to strengthen social bonds and promote multiculturalism among New Zealand's diverse ethnic communities.
Initially, Pearls of the Islands Foundation wanted to host a Ramadan iftar dinner in Christchurch this year, with the aim of fostering growth and development of a harmonious and inclusive community, accepting the beautiful diversity in New Zealand. However, many of you have been occupied over the past several months in a recovery phase. We are now able to gather together this evening. Tonight has been made possible thanks to our co-hosts, Pearls of the Islands Foundation and Khadija Leadership Network, with the support of the Ethnic Communities Development Fund and the Christchurch City Council, who provided the venue. March the 15th, I lost a friend and a work colleague. She has gone, but she will always be remembered, and she will always have a place in my heart. Many of you have lost family, friends, loved ones, and work colleagues. These people will remain a part of us always. I would now like to invite Arapata Rubin to formally welcome you all here this evening.
Whakapūkene te tātou o te mātauranga o ngā whakaaro, here ai ki te tangi o te pipi wharauro. Kui, whiti whiti ora. Kui, kia rangi e tū nei. Kui, kia papatūnu koe takato nei. Tū mā ihi, tū mā wana, rere ki te ponu o te pipi wharauro. Ko tānei tukua, ko tānei horohia, e rongo ai koe ki te tangi o tō manu nei. Kui, whiti whiti ora. Ko te whai au, ko te ao marama, te hei mauri ora. E nā mana, e nā reo, e nā kanga maha o te motu, tēnā koutou. E nā manuhiri tuārangi, e nā rangatira, o nā hau e whā, nau mai, piki mai, kaki mai. E tānei whakapiripiri e tū nei, tēnā koe e whakamaru nei tātou e tēnei wā, o te whenua o te hapu o Naitua Huriri. Ko te tūmanako, e maha ka putu e tēnei wā, e tika ana ki e mihi atu, ki e mihi mai. E tika ana ki te kōrero o tō tātou tupuna. Me noi tātou. E tō mātou mātui te rangi, ki e tapu tō ingoa, ki e tai mai tō rangateratanga. Ki e mea te tau e pai ai ki rungu ki te whenua. Ki e rite anō ki tō te rangi, o mai ki a mātou ai nei, e taro ma mātou mo tēnei rā. E muru o mātou hara, mai mātou hoki e muru nei. I o te huna e harana ki a mātou, i au hoki mātou e kāwea ki a whakawaia. E nari whakiorania mātou i te kino, no hoki te rangateratanga, te kaha, me te kuroria, ake, āmene. Kia ora tātou.
Kororia, hallelujah, kia ihoa ora mano, ki te kahui ari ki wairua, ko te mangai hei tautoko mai, te arepa te omeka, tautoko tia mai te ro, tunei. Iri tua hamu era ka puta kia ora e.
Kia mau ki o whakapapa, nā taonga tapu toko iho o nā tūpuna, e tauera tui a e nā uri o nāi nei, e nā uri tipu mai, ake tonu mai. Kia ora.
Thank you, Arapata. We're going to serve dinner, and I know the smell is delicious, and it's going to be hard to not rush there. But we're going to start with table 1, if you'd like to head out into the corridor, and then just gradually we'll go table 1, table 2, table 3. So if you just want to keep an eye out, and I'll occasionally yell table 3 or table 4. But if we could start with table 1, if you would like to head out. And then there's plates and a gorgeous buffet in the corridor, and then head back to your table. And then we'll get back together probably in about 45 minutes. I hope you enjoyed your dinner, and they're going to be clearing the plates away. Does everyone head back to their tables? We're going to start that sounds really loud in my ears here. So I'd like to thank Crispin Vale for the wonderful food, and I hope you enjoyed your dinner and the company around you, and I hope you've taken the opportunity to make some new friends and meet the people talking at the table with you. According to Islamic tradition, the Quran was revealed over a 23-year period, and the revelation started during the month of Ramadan. Muslims regard the Quran as the culmination of a series of divine messages that started with those revealed to Adam, regarded in Islam as the first prophet, and continued with the scrolls of Abraham, the Torah to Prophet Moses, Psalms to Prophet David, and Gospel revealed to Prophet Jesus. Interestingly, the Quran respects the Virgin Mary and the miracle birth of Jesus. It also references the prophets Abraham, Moses, and Jesus more than it does the prophet Muhammad. I would like to invite Imam Gamal Fada to the stage for a recitation from the Quran. Where's he gone? He was here earlier. Imam Fada. This doesn't work because it's connected to the camera, so if you want to speak on the microphone.
I thought that we were going to finish food first. Oh, okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واستعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون صدق الله العظيم.
Shukran, Aman, Gamal Fuda. Thank you not only for this evening's Quranic recitation, but for bringing it to Canterbury. Whilst you've brought it to us through sad circumstance, it is a beautiful thing that you've brought to the Canterbury people. Ladies and gentlemen, our goal tonight was to bring people of different backgrounds together for the primary purpose of relating with each other on common values. Without distinction, you will see people around you from diverse groups of our community. I would like to ask Abdul Gamil from our co-host Pearl of the Islands Foundation to give his welcoming speech.
Kia ora, tēnā koutou, salams. Distinguished guests, members from Muslim community, New Zealand Police, Victim Support, Hospital, St. John's Ambulance, Christchurch City Council, multi-faith and community leaders, neighbors of the two mosques, and ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin to welcome you with Islamic salutation of Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Firstly, I respectfully acknowledge the Maori people, the traditional owner of the land we meet. I respect their elders, both past, present, and future. On behalf of Pearl of the Islands Foundation and Khadija Leadership Network, it is a great honor to warmly welcome each and every one of you this evening to this wonderful Whanau dinner together. This dinner program is supported and endorsed by ethnic communities, Victim Sport, New Zealand Police, and Christchurch Council. I am also acknowledging members of victim families who lost their loved ones and who are injured and have suffered. Distinguished guests, by co-hosting and supporting such a meaningful event, we all play an instrumental role towards breaking barriers, eliminating stereotypes, towards our shared goal of building the ideal inclusive society, as well as promoting harmony, dialogue, and friendship. Coming together, sharing food around the table with people from various cultures and faiths enable both sides to know each other and see that most worries about each other stem from pointless and groundless ignorance. I will continue my speech with a passage from Friday's sermon, which has given after the Christchurch attack by Imam Gamal, who said, "Last Friday I stood in this mosque and I saw the hatred and rage in the eyes of the terrorists who killed and martyred 51 innocent people, wounded 42, and broke the hearts of millions around the world. These terrorists sought to tear our nation apart with evil ideology that has turned the world apart. But instead, we have shown that New Zealand is unbreakable and that the world can see in us an example of love and unity. We are broken-hearted, but we are not broken. We are alive, we are together, we are determined to not let anyone divide us. We are determined to love one another and support each other. This evil ideology of white supremacy did not strike us first, yet it struck us hardest. The number of people killed is not ordinary, but the solidarity in New Zealand is extraordinary. To the families of the victims, your loved ones did not die in vain. Their blood has watered the seeds of hope. Through them, the world will see the beauty of Islam and the beauty of our unity. Today is also September 11. I remember what happened on 9/11 in the US and others in many different countries. Some people feed themselves from the blood of innocent people. Those people created dirty image in the world. It has and will take many more years to fix that bad image. That ex-terrorist did the same thing in New Zealand. Friday is a most important day for the Muslim people, but that ex-person made that Friday as darkest day for New Zealand, as Prime Minister said. The world has been a very different place since the event of 9/11 and March 15, but there are elements of continuity on which we can build. There are values we continue to uphold as the basic foundation of our societies: democracy, freedom, human rights, and the rule of law. And there is friendship, trust, and solidarity. These elements should be our common basis today and tomorrow. In the Quran, Allah Almighty clearly mentioned that whoever kills a person unjustly, it is as though he has killed all humankind. And promotes our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, teachings to live in peace and unity. Every time when we meet someone, we say, Assalamu alaikum, that means God will bless you with peace. The horrific attacks in Christchurch on 15 March have devastated all of us, no matter what their religious or ethnic identities are. Any attempts to take the life of an innocent person is an attack against the sanctity of human life and against all of humanity. Terror doesn't have any religion, any ethnicity, or any race. I hope that Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern's principle and inclusive stance will remind us of our common human identity and serve as an example to other national leaders addressing challenging situations such as the Christchurch attack and Sri Lanka bombing and others that happened in the recent past. At the same time, I hope that these deplorable events will urge us to question why and how prejudice, fear, and hate have been on the rise and seek solution together. One solution is to create this space in which we can sit with one another and exchange information, understand, and seek solution together and accept each other. By acting in solidarity with Muslim citizens, visiting and listening to them, the Prime Minister has won the heart of not only Muslim citizens, but also of all Muslim and citizens around the world who believe in the brotherhood of humanity. Pearl of the Islands Foundations and many Muslims around the world call for non-confrontational approach to resolving common issues of humanity, whether it be ignorance, poverty, social justice. We are taught by our Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, that you can never truly show gratitude to the Almighty God if you are incapable of thanking your fellow human being. To the people of New Zealand, thank you. Thank you for your tears. Thank you for your flowers. Thank you for your aroha, love and compassion. To our Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. It has been a lesson to the world's leaders. Thank you for holding our families close and honoring us with a simple scarf. Thank you for your words and tears, compassion. Thank you for being one with us. Thank you to the New Zealand government and all the wonderful people who have shown us that we matter and are not forgotten. Thank you to Christchurch City Council. Thank you to our police force and frontline services. You put our lives before your own every day. Thank you to the neighbors who open their doors to our brothers and sisters. Thank you to Christchurch Hospital, doctors, emergency services, nurses, St. John's Ambulance, and everyone who did a tremendous job for our brothers and sisters. Thank you to those who brought food and held us when we found it difficult to stand. Thank you, New Zealand, for teaching the world what it means to aroha, love, and care. Thank you for your strength and for your forgiveness. Thank you for your anger that is restrained and for your mercy that is overflowing. Thank you for your steadfastness and standing tall when many others would fall. In sum, in order to preserve your credit, honor, and love for the sake of the truth, hate for the sake of the truth, and be open-hearted towards the truth. Once again, I greet everyone with my deepest respect. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you.
Shukran. Thank you. Thank you, Abdul. That was very gracious and very kind, and it came from your heart. And as a Cantabrian, I felt it. I've been told to speak a little louder. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, can I now please welcome Te Yaba Khan from our co-host, Khadija Leadership Network, to give her welcoming speech.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Because it's Te Wiki Te Reo Māori, I'm going to start with Pepeha. No Auckland aho, no India and Pakistan o ka tipuna, e whanau me o ki Sakar, e tupu ake o ki Peshawar, Tokyo, Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, ke Auckland aho e noho ana, ke Khadija Leadership Network e mahi ana, ko te Yaba Khan toku ingoa, no reira, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. As the founder of Khadija Leadership Network, co-host with Pearls of the Island Foundation, it is my great pleasure to be welcoming you all here today, almost 6 months on from the tragedy of March the 15th. It'd be remiss of me to start without acknowledging the departed. May their souls rest in peace, and may they remain in our hearts throughout this evening and from here onwards. We especially honour them tonight. A special welcome to the family members of the martyrs who have joined us this evening. We are honoured you could make it, and that you join us in the spirit with which we host this dinner to remember those gone and to thank those who helped to save the lives of others. A special shukriya or shukran to members of the Muslim community of An-Nur and Linwood Mosque, who without much choice became the first responders on that very day. We cannot thank you enough for the heroism you showed in caring for each other and protecting each other. To other first responders and organisations that join us tonight, I also acknowledge you and bring with me words that seem small in nature in comparison to your active service, but they come from the hearts of many across the country in Aotearoa, New Zealand. What happened in March brought some of the worst felt fears of the Muslim community to life. However, you, those of you who went through it, responded with unimaginable faith, strength, grace, and compassion, as did your neighbours and as did this nation. Well, most people in this nation. As co-hosting organisations, both Pearl of the Islands Foundation and Khadija Leadership Network has been waiting for the right time to host something with the intention of bringing a cross-section of the community from Ōtautahi together. We've been mindful of the global attention and expectation on you. We didn't want to add to it, but to bring you together in the spirit of showering you with the manaakitanga, a central value of both the organisations. For us, the purpose of tonight is to acknowledge some of those who were heroes through a horrendous and atrocious event. We're mindful we could not get everyone in the room here today, and that we've only been able to scratch the surface with those who we will thank today. However, both the organisations are committed to walking alongside members of the Muslim community and wider communities in Christchurch, not just for the short term, but for the long haul, by offering our continued support resources, and respective expertise. We hope that together we can rebuild amana, trust, continue to instill iman, faith, especially for the future generations, and remain steadfast as a collective, concerted, and persistent effort to eradicate ignorance and fear of the other. Tonight is about planting a seed, one we hope will grow. For us, this is just a starting point for us to know you and for you to get to know us. Kanohi ke te kanohi. On behalf of the network, thank you for making time to be here and to break bread with your own community and us foreigners from Tamaki Makaurau. I very much look forward to meeting some of, if not all of you. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Kia ora.
Thank you, Tara. I once again would like to thank Pull of the Islands Foundation, Khadija Leadership Network, and all of you for making this dinner possible. Ladies and gentlemen, these occasions are opportunities for new friendships to be formed and to deepen existing relations, but it's also a time to share experiences. On behalf of the Muslim community and Cantabrians impacted most by the attacks, we would like to now invite a man who didn't ask for the spotlight to fall on him, but who has touched the hearts of millions through his capacity for love and forgiveness, our friend Farid Ahmed, to share a few words.
Is it okay if I talk from here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, beautiful flowers. Each one of you is like a pretty flower in the happy garden, peaceful garden. Of course you are, because we belong to one human family. And this is where we can forget our own ideology and we can meet in one place. We are human. We are one large family. And if we can be loving and compassionate on that point, then we can accommodate each other's faith, philosophy, ideology, etc., etc. We have human rights. There are so many human rights. But one would say, why do I care about human rights? So, the answer is because we are human family. And we have to unite in one place, in one ground. So dear organizers, respected guests, and all the present here, I would like to start with our greeting, Assalamu alaikum. Peace and mercy be upon you. Probably I should start with a little story. Everyone likes story. I do. It is a small story mentioned in the Quran, and it is mentioned in the Bible, Torah, most of the religious books. The story is about two sons of Adam. One of them, he chose. So I'll stress on this word, choose. He chose to practice hate, violence, cruelty, and terrorizing and killing. So he said to his another brother, so it is quoted in the Quran, and I'll recite it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Beginning in the name of Allah, the kind, the merciful. قَالَ لَأَقْتُلَنَّكَ. So he said to his brother, be sure I'm going to kill you. The other brother, he chose to be
loving, caring, kind, merciful, and not to be a killer, but to be a saver of life. So he answered, لَإِن بَسَطتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ لِتَقْتُلَنِي. If you extend your hand towards me to kill me, مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطٍ يَدِيَ إِلَيْكَ لِيَقْتُلَكَ. I will not extend my hand towards you to kill you. إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهَ رَبَّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Because I fear the fair judgment of the Lord of the universe. Brothers and sisters, since then, these two choices are going through the human family, the family of children of Adam. Some people, they choose to hate. They choose their heart to be like a volcano, which will have no happiness, no peace. It will be burning from within, and it will burn the surroundings. And majority people, our human brothers and sisters, they have chosen to practice love, forgiveness, kindness, and looking after one another. You and I, we have chosen to be loving. So congratulations to all of you. We may ask that why did God put love and hate into people's heart? Why didn't he put only love? The short answer is then we could have been robot. The love and hate is given, at the same time the freedom of choice is given. So I highlighted the word choice. So we are free to choose. If we like to choose love, we can. If we like to choose hate, also we can. So we have freedom of choice. But we do not have the freedom of the consequences. If we choose hate, there is one type of consequences. If we choose love, there is different kind of consequences. And we can choose love or hate, but we cannot choose to be free from the consequences of what we do. Now come to the 15th of March. And let us look at it practically. 15th of March, one human brother, he chose to hate. He chose to be angry. He chose to be furious. And he chose to destroy and humiliate himself. And also, he chose to bring destruction to other people. What did he get? What was the consequences? What was the result? Did he receive a heroic welcome? Like All Black? I didn't hear it. Did you? Did he receive a red carpet welcome? Did the prison decide to offer him 5-star hotel suite facility? Did people on the street cheer when welcome, after World Cup winning, when the All Black players they come? He did not receive any cheer. Did he earn any respect for his loved ones? No. Did he earn the respect for the race he said he belonged to? No. Because he doesn't represent any race. And his race They do not own him. Similarly, if anyone say, I am a Muslim and I am a terrorist, we disown him. He does not belong to us. A killer is a killer, no matter what is the name. Sometimes a killer tries to hide under a banner, sometimes under the banner of Muslim, sometimes under the banner of, in this case, white supremacism. But a killer is a killer. A killer does not represent anyone. So he chose to hate. And the consequences was, the result was, he brought shame and humiliation for himself. He's a loser. And that is why I have sympathy for him. Even when I was hiding behind the car when he was shooting, even that time I was thinking a lot of things. And one of my thought was, I was feeling sorry for him. Why is he doing this? It is not going to even benefit him. It is not even going to benefit anyone. I feel sorry for him. If anyone does mistake, I feel sorry for him or her. And that's why I have forgiven him, and I pray to Almighty God to give him guidance. If there is anyone like him out there, whatever their name is, and whatever the label they want to put, I pray to Allah that Allah give them guidance so that they can think like wise people, and they can be better and they can be respected. So the consequences of hate from him did not benefit him. It humiliated him. Now look at the opposite chapter. People who had chosen love instead of hate in 15th of March, first responders, frontliners, they came together running because of the love, not for the hate. And as a result, they are our heroes. We put them into our heart with respect. New Zealanders will remember them. The world will remember them. The neighbors who came running with love, we place them in our heart. They are respected. They are honorable. Our Prime Minister, she came not to divide the nation, but she came with inclusive slogan, we are one. That was also from love. And you know it. The whole world is admiring her. This is the result of love. You look at the New Zealanders. Michael and I, we went to Washington, D.C. And in that conference, so many delegates, they came and said, you are lucky you live in New Zealand. New Zealand is a great place. New Zealanders are wonderful. This respect, this honor from all over the world, hate did not bring it. Love has brought it. So we have two choices, either to be a hater or to be somebody equipped with love. And we have chosen love. New Zealand has chosen love. New Zealand police has chosen love. New Zealand ambulance people has chosen love. Doctors, nurses, they have chosen love. Neighbors, ordinary citizens like me, we have chosen love. Our politicians has chosen love. That's why you, New Zealand, you are number one. And keep working on it. Maintain the number one position. Once you become world champion in all black, you have to work harder. Because so many people out there are jealous. They want to defeat you. New Zealand has become a role model in this world. Because bad thing happens. But in terms of the response, New Zealand's response was unique. World champion number one. We need to work hard. Each one of us, we have to be the ambassador of love, ambassador of peace. We can go back to our classroom. We can go back to our work. We can go back to the church. We can go back to the mosque. We can use our opportunity to spread the love and harmony. If we work together, inshallah, God willing, our future will be better. The reputation of our country will be better. Muslims in particular, I would like to congratulate the families that after the attack, you have chosen the path of patience, tolerance, forgiveness, and peace. You are wonderful people. Keep it up. I would like to thank our Imam, our President, our committee, all Muslims, and also all of you and all New Zealanders. Congratulations, New Zealanders. Congratulations for your love. May Allah bless you. May God defend our country, save our country. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Farid. To show our appreciation, we have a small gift for you. I'd like Yalchin Salak to come up. Yes, gift to you. I think I'll just get a photo afterwards too.
So I accept this gift on behalf of all of you. It's an honor, but this honor goes to you. You deserve it. Thank you.
I would now like to invite to the stage both our co-hosts, Abdul and Tayyaba, to present gifts to show our gratitude on behalf of the New Zealand Muslim community. Victim support played a fundamental and proactive role for the Christchurch residents following the March 15 attacks. They support and care for the people of Aotearoa. Emotional and practical support, information, financial assistance and advocacy for the rights of the victims are among some of the ways in which they've helped ease the pain. They also assisted the hosts and organisers to make tonight possible. I would like to invite Kevin So, as the representative of the Victim Support Organisation, to the stage to receive a gift. We would like to invite you to say.
Kia ora koutou and assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the opportunity for victim support to be recognised in this way and to join you tonight this evening. It is indeed a great privilege. I would especially like to acknowledge the organisers, including the Pearl of Islands Foundation and the Khadija Leadership Network. Esteemed members of the Muslim community, members of the Christchurch City Council, MPs of the our national government from Labour, Superintendent Lane Todd and his colleagues, our partners, Canterbury District Health Board, and of course the bravery of the St John's Ambulance. I would also like to acknowledge the members of our victim support team here. Many of you met Karen McClay and April Marshall. And through their work and members of our team for the survivors of the terror attacks, I would like all our members of the victim support team to stand, because I have to say that sometimes we go under the radar, and this tonight, and I take this opportunity because you've given it to us, for our team members to stand. Could you please all stand? This terror incident was unlike any other. It required a truly national response from our organisation, and in just a few days after March the 15th, we set up a fully functioning hub in Christchurch. Something we simply did, but something was totally unanticipated. And with a team completely dedicated to supporting victims of the attack. And again, thank you. And our team is still there and here in Christchurch and across the country, and their important work continues, made possible only by their dedication at every stage of the response. And I'm greatly, deeply grateful for their contributions, which many of you in the community have told me has made a huge difference. This Sunday will mark 6 months since the attacks, and as we prepare for this time of reflection, our thoughts are with those who survived the attacks and with the families of those who did not. During May, it was a great privilege to personally meet with the widows and those injured in the attacks, as well as many others present here and others not. I was taken aback by the many stories of hardship, but equally by the stories of dedication and fortitude, particularly those with children. One widow recounted her story to us. I had a dream we would be together for my whole life. Now I'm alone with my 2 kids, learning step by step, she said. Now I always stay here because he is here. I always want to be near him. With the help of a victim support worker, it is heartwarming to see this talented, caring young woman and mother taking real steps towards a future for her family in Christchurch. Taking driving lessons, running a household and working as a translator while completing tertiary study to provide for her family. The stories like this, and what stories like this represent, are looking to the future, where the strength of the individual, of the community, seeking a peaceful and purposeful life, especially for our children and future generations. This is what we all seek. With the pressures of loss and trauma presented to so many, and so many chances to divide, we as New Zealanders pulled together. We live with the comfort of those who are at loss, with those who we lost and who are at peace. And we can work together to build a legacy of which they and all of us can be proud. I am proud to have this opportunity to meet and acknowledge so many good people building that legacy here tonight. Thank you. Ngā mihi a koutou katoa, may peace be with you.
Our Our law enforcement agencies do a tremendous job in not only upholding the law, but also providing security and safety for us and our loved ones. New Zealand Police are tasked with this not-so-simple task. They're at the front line of not only prevention, but also engaging proactively with the New Zealand communities. They were remarkable on March the 15th and have continued to provide incredible support since the tragedy. I'd like to request Superintendent Lane Todd to come up to receive a gift on behalf of the New Zealand Police and to say a few words.
Just like to acknowledge also, as has been before, just the host tonight, and it's very humbling for us, and I've got a few colleagues here as well with me, for us to be here and to also be present with the wider community. I guess from a police point of view, that was an extremely dark day for us, but also for the wider community. And it's already been touched on by our humble speaker earlier that the country stepped up that day, and from a police point of view we certainly stepped up, but we couldn't do that without the support of our wider community and actually our families as well. And you know, when I think about reflecting back on that day, and I can see some of my colleagues from St John here that we worked on that day, and also the doctors and the nurses and also the neighbours in the community which have also acknowledged. It was an extremely tragic event, but actually the good that came out of that day, and if we reflect just when we were discussing before, in fact how the community now is a lot more tighter, looking out for each other and supporting each other. So I think we've got to grab those sort of opportunities, and which is what you were touching on. So it's thinking about the future, what do we need to do, what do we need to do to support each other so we can prevent something like this happening again in the future. If we look on the side of our police vehicles, and if you look on the rear of them, we've actually got a slogan which says "Safer Communities Together." And that was actually designed by a commissioner back in about 1990. That's actually still true today. If we're going to make our community safer, we do that together. Police can't do it ourselves, and we look to our wider community. So I just really want to acknowledge everybody that's here tonight and people that haven't been able to come tonight. But it's very humbling for us to be invited and be part of it, and I know we had a discussion when you raised it with me a few months ago, and we certainly wanted to be to support the event. Our work continues, and I know as Kevin touched on, victim support work continues as well, and that work will continue as we continue with the recovery phase, and that obviously is a day-to-day event that we work with our partner agencies in supporting you and your community for the future. So thanks very much.
We're going to take a quick break to clear the tables and to bring through dessert. So about 5 minutes for a wharepaku break and a change of tables. Thank you. From the initial total of 48 people admitted on Friday the 15th of March, the Christchurch Hospital treated and operated on many more. Of course, the care and healing does not end when they leave hospital, and we must acknowledge the work of those involved in providing ongoing care in the community. We thank the hospital staff and the CDHB for all they have done. Can I invite Mel Evans to receive a gift on behalf of the CDHB and Christchurch Hospital and to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. Kia ora koutou, koutou. Good evening. My name is Mel Evans. I am a trauma nurse coordinator at Christchurch Hospital, and I was involved in the response on Friday afternoon on the 15th of March. I've asked Tracy to come up with me too, Tracy Williams. She is one of our associate charge nurse managers in ED, and she was also part of the lead response for the emergency department. I was very lucky as a trauma nurse coordinator that I was able to be with the survivors that came in through ED, but follow right through until discharge, and was able to meet and be with people most days. On behalf of my colleagues, I want to thank you for having us here tonight. The tragic events on the 15th of March has an immense impact on your community and on our health community. We cared for many of your brothers and sisters. I would like to acknowledge that many hundreds of staff from throughout the hospital were part of a team which exemplified the very best of our health service. I am very proud to be a small part of this outstanding team. I won't list everybody, as it is a very extensive list, and I'm sure I'll probably miss many people. We know that for the survivors, their lives will never be the same. Throughout our time treating and caring for your friends and family, we have all been struck by the graciousness, dignity, strength and generosity demonstrated. Again, thank you for having us here tonight. It was an honour and a privilege to be part of a team that was able to provide care to your community.
In the wake of the mosque attacks, there was an outpouring of love, support and solidarity from the community and country and all around the world. Tributes of all kinds have been gifted to the city. Christchurch City Council has assisted the Muslim community in so many ways, from taking care of the tributes to providing the venue tonight. Can I request Councillor Anne Galloway to come up to the stage to receive a gift on behalf of the Christchurch City Council to say a few words.
Tuia ki te rangi, tuia ki te whenua, tuia ki te nākau o ngā tangata. Ko te mea nui, ko te aroha. Tihe Māori ora. Write it in the sky, write it in the land, write it in the hearts of the people. The greatest thing is love. Behold, there is life. Ngā mihi nui ki ngā tuahuriri. Ngā mihi nui ngā rangatira. Tēnā koutou. Ko Anne Galloway tēnei. Tēnā koutou. So I have the privilege to be representing the Mayor and our City Council tonight at this wonderful event. And I'd like to acknowledge my colleague, Councillor Jimmy Chen, who has been incredibly instrumental in developing the multicultural strategy that our council has adopted and that leads the country in strengthening our multicultural community. So thank you, Jimmy. I'd like to thank you for such a warm welcome. Thank you to our hosts, and I commend the Pearl of the Islands Foundation for holding this dinner so that people of diverse faiths, ethnicities and backgrounds can get to know and learn of each other. In the response to the horrific events of March the 15th, we have all witnessed or heard of acts of bravery, acts of kindness, and we've also seen the reaffirming gestures of peace, unity and love. I have been amazed by the strength, tolerance and grace of our Muslim community. it would have been very understandable if Christchurch Muslims had wanted to be left alone to grieve in peace. But instead, you have graciously welcomed the people of Christchurch, the wider nation, and the world into your mosques and into your homes. And you've shared your faith with us and inspired us with your determination to heal and to move forward. I've been equally moved by the messages of compassion we heard from Dr. Muhammad Shafa and Dr. James Wuye late last month. They were visiting us from Nigeria with the generous sponsorship of Initiatives of Change, and they honoured us by speaking of their experiences from upbringings of religious fundamentalism towards working for peace. Where once they spent years as the leaders of violent militias fighting each other, both suffering personally due to their conflict, an unlikely opportunity to meet gave them a chance to come together, and now they are like brothers. They've visited over 60 countries, together promoting peace and an end to religious persecution. Their story is incredibly powerful and is an example of how communities can strengthen each other by embracing diversity and inclusivity, not rejecting it. This message has been reflected in a recent gift to the people of Christchurch, brought to us by a collection of Indigenous artists from South Australia. Their painting, Gunumpa Kuchu, or One Spirit, serves as a powerful connection between communities that are divided over thousands of miles, yet share the same values of unity and compassion. As a society, we are stronger and more resilient to challenges and obstacles if we can embrace our differences and focus on our common interests. So tonight, let's explore and discuss our differences and our similarities in a spirit of trust and openness. For example, how do we each process and deal with trauma and grief like we have from this terrible tragedy? As a Pākehā, I'm particularly interested to hear from my table about how I can make religious and ethnic minorities feel more welcome in Aotearoa. If we are to remain united, we need to continue to stand up for and celebrate diversity and inclusion. We need to be the place where all are treated with decency and respect, no matter who we are, where we are born, or what our beliefs are. Together, we can demonstrate to the world how people of different nations, ethnicities, and religions can band together in a spirit of understanding, healing, and hope. What happened in Christchurch on Friday the 15th of March 2019 will never define us. It is the response, the love, compassion, and kindness that says who we are. We do not stand alone. We stand together as one. Ngā mihi nui, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Thank you, Anne, for your kind and aspirational words. St John Ambulance is run and staffed by people who are passionate about serving their communities and caring for fellow New Zealanders. They are a charity and have a volunteer ethos, with paid and volunteer members working side by side. They played a crucial role on March 15. I would like to now invite Wally Mitchell to receive a gift on behalf of St John and to say a few words.
Kia ora. I have a few words written here, but I have heard some fairly inspirational speeches tonight, and I'm not going to be able to compete at all with them. And I won't pretend that I'm as expertise in that area as many. I'm very, very impressed, and I heard some very wise words from a very wise gentleman here. And I am very proud to work for an organisation and work with a team of people in that organisation who have chosen love over hate. And that, I think, were very inspirational words. Excuse my voice. I seem to have come down with a bit of a cold, so my speech will be quite short. I received this recognition on behalf of the team who responded to the mosque on the 15th, and also those of us who continued to toil for the weeks afterwards, and it took a massive toll on everybody. Not as much of a toll as it obviously has taken on the victims of the day and the families affected and the communities affected on the day. But nonetheless, it took a toll on us, and it took a toll on the whole of Christchurch, and it took a toll on the whole of the country. There were many acts of heroism on that day, and the police stood up, my team stood up, the community stood up, the people in the mosque stood up, and even the country as a whole stood up. And to me, I feel incredibly inspired and privileged to have been a part of that. Excuse me, my notes disappeared. As a team, we've been humbled by the outpouring of support from the affected communities within Christchurch and across the whole of New Zealand, and indeed from around the world. The team involved in the events on the day would universally agree it has been an honour and a privilege to be given the opportunity to respond in support of our community at a time of crisis such as this. As challenging as it was on the day, many lives were saved as a result of the whole of team response. That includes not only our team, but the police and the community, the members of the community, the family members of the victims. And the reality is it was a dark day, but for our team it was the response was fashioned from many, many years of training and experience to respond in this way. Basically, this is what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Wally. The casualness with which you come across is clearly a gift to have in first response. So thank you. Can we invite everyone that shared a gift, or received a gift, to come back up to the stage to have a group photo? Or actually, combination photos. Thank you all for your speeches and contributions on this special evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the conclusion of the program. I would like to invite Pauline Cornwell for a vote of thanks.
I was wondering if I could ask Ashraf Chowdhury, as I can't see him, but could he come up? Oh, could you come up too, Ashraf? So I just thought it would be a good idea to explain why I'm standing on the stage, because we are just ordinary people. So Ashraf and I represent the advisory board for the Pearl of the Islands Foundation. We've come from Auckland today to be with you tonight. And we'd first of all like to thank Khadija for your input and your support in this evening as well. And the most important thing for us is having you here and being able to share a meal together, in order for us to talk and to share our experiences and to understand one another better. This is our chance to say thank you and to be grateful. We want, first of all, to be grateful to the kitchen staff. Thank you. It was a marvellous meal. We want to be grateful to the people who keep us safe tonight. We want to be grateful for the people who invited us here, who allowed us to be together. We want to be grateful for the miracle that allows us all to gather, the events that have happened in our individual lives, in our collective consciousness, and our recent history that have meant that meeting together like this is a poignant and eventful occasion. And I'm grateful for those who are not here tonight, and for the burden and the love that we take in our hearts with us back to our communities. I'm hoping that in the sharing of this evening, and the chance for us to say thank you for all of those people who helped us on the 15th of March, to remember the victims and their families and their community, that we will all be enriched, and that we will all take up the call to create a peaceful New Zealand that will last for generations. Our gratitude to you for being here. Thank you very much.
To close the evening, I'd like to ask the Very Reverend Lawrence Kimberley from the Anglican Christchurch Cathedral to say a closing prayer.
Let us be still in the presence of God. O God, show us that we are profoundly loved and need never be afraid. O God, fill us with the presence of your great compassion towards ourselves and towards all living beings. O God, we ask that we ourselves cease to be a cause of suffering to one another. O God, with humility, we ask for the establishment of peace in our hearts and on earth. O God, stay close to those who grieve. May the souls of the faithful departed rest in your peace. O God, kindle in us the fire of love, to bring us alive, to give warmth to the world. Lead us from death to life, from falsehood to truth, from despair to hope, from fear to trust, from hate to love, from war to peace, that your peace may fill our hearts, our world, and our universe. And the blessing of God, the eternal goodwill of God, the shalom of God, the wildness and the warmth of God, be among us and between us, now and always. Amen. Peace be upon you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Pearl of the Islands Foundation and the Khadija Leadership Network, we'd like to express our appreciation to you all for attending our One Whanau dinner tonight. Your presence and your support encourages us to promote goodwill and to protect the freedoms and privileges we enjoy here in New Zealand.
We wish you all very good night, safe travels home, but mostly we wish you peace. Wa alaikum salam.